नहीं हो रहा. So when we see all this type of end stage of corneal pathologies, we always think, is there any hope? Can we save the eye? Can we give some vision to this patient? Let us see few cases. This was total corneal abscess and this was total corneal perforation. But in both the cases, perception of light was present and projection of light rays was accurate in all the quadrant, and patients were advised for evisceration. They were explained about the phthisis bulbi eventually. But when we did the B scan was clear. So can we give some hope in these cases? That was the question. In this totally distorted anterior segment with scleral involvement, and they require anterior segment total reconstruction, and primary goal in this case is to provide the structural integrity by removing the diseased corneal and scleral tissue. As we need to use the larger graft, so they pose higher risk than the penetrating keratoplasty, and the chances of graft rejection, failure, secondary glaucoma, even the phthisis bulbi is quite common in this situation. So what we can do? So there are certain modification in penetrating keratoplasty in the form of reconstructive sclerokeratoplasty or large diameter penetrating keratoplasty. These are the names given by the scientist. In 1980, sclerokeratoplasty name was given by the Taylor and Stearns. The technique is similar like penetrating keratoplasty with certain modification, and results are technique are not as good as penetrating keratoplasty in terms of visual outcome, and for to gain the visual outcome we need to do the secondary procedures. Preoperative preparation is similar like penetrating keratoplasty. Let us see the technique. In these cases we have to do the conjunctival peritomy as the limbus is involved, and then many times even the mark of the trifine is not possible because of the involvement of the sclera and larger size of the tissue is involved. So and even the invisible anterior chamber is there, so it is very difficult to even mark and enter into the anterior chamber. So with all precaution we have to do it very carefully, and we have to excise complete total disease scleral part also. The next step in this is the recipient button preparation, and this can be done in various method. So when in case of corneal abscess where there is fibrinoid membrane, it can be removed from the iris surface and on the pupillary area without damaging the lens and iris diaphragm, with very carefully with the blunt surface, and synechias were removed with the stiff swab, iris repositor, and even the blunt corneal scissor. And in infected cases, after removing the this infected material, the proper thorough wash of the anterior chamber is given with the appropriate antibiotics. Many times while removing the synechias, there is distortion of the iris, and which requires the iris reconstruction, as you are seeing in this case. So we can reconstruct the iris by Tenzero Prolene suture which has straight needle. During the surgery also we face the cataractous lenses in this, so we can manage very easily the cataractous lenses by small open sky technique. In soft cataract we can do it without even without dilatation. These cases they are having the small pupils, so without dilatation also we can manage these cases. But in hard cataract we have to cut the we have to do the sphincterotomy.
Madam, 1 minute more.
Yes. Graft suturing is similar like the penetrating keratoplasty. Sometimes it is difficult to manage the sclera to corneal suturing. Angle management is very difficult and very crucial in these cases. Lamellar dissection is preferred as it prevents the angle structures. The post-operative complications can be managed in the form of, in case of the cataract, we can perform the phacoemulsification and even the manual SICS with care taken for the preventing the damage to the corneal endothelium. Post-operative secondary glaucoma is quite high percentage which is seen, and this can be managed with the trabeculectomy, and most of the cases the trabeculectomy doesn't work, so we have to go for the glaucoma drainage device. This case was large anterior staphyloma, and while while doing the keratoplasty, there was spontaneous extrusion of the lens iris diaphragm, and patient become anarrheic and aphakic. And trabeculectomy was failed, and this case glaucoma drainage device was placed in the inferotemporal quadrant, as the superior part was, conjunctiva was not healthy in this case. So graft rejection failure is very common in these cases, as large graft, there is corneal scleral graft which comprises the immune privileged status, and there is delayed started of the steroids as the cases are infected in origin. Suture related problems are also again very common because of the close vicinity to limbal vasculature, which prime concern to stimulate the graft rejection. So in conclusion, progressive corneal destruction of various causes, we require to do the reconstructive keratoplasty in combination with the other procedure to attempt as an alternative to enucleation, evisceration or spontaneous thysis bulbi. Thank you. So we can turn all these cases with this meticulous surgery, very challenging surgery, to this seeing eye, or we can save these eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. So we have the next topic from